best entertainment on the earth. Tune in for Comics with Perch.
Hey everybody, this is Perch, and it's a slightly stormy day here in Texas. I don't know, it's hot, but there's wind and there's clouds and nobody knows what's going on. Anyway, I got to thinking about something, and this is, I want to stress my opinion, okay? Not yours, not probably most of you. I'm guessing that I am definitely in the minority here with this opinion, and that's okay. Please keep in mind this simple thing, which is often forgotten on the internet, which is nothing I say here means absolutely anything to how you feel. You get to feel however you want. I'm not coming to your house. I can't take away your keyboard. I'm not going to lock down your internet. I do not run a comic company, so I can't gatekeep you out of a job. Doesn't matter. Okay, it's just my opinion. I think a lot of protests and noise and just general kind of complaining about something is absolutely worthless. Now, let me explain what I mean before you get all pissy about it. Because my view on this pretty much goes across the board for a lot of things, and that's why it's so unpopular. A lot of the people who get out there and protest, they get signs, they make noise, they raise visibility, it's pretty meaningless. And if you look at the long picture view of things, almost all protests have had zero to no impact. The ones that do are the ones that get large enough that they actually kind of embarrass a company into actually doing something or a government into doing something. But by and large, very little happens. If you look at a lot of the Black Lives Matter protests, very little of them did anything beyond, and this is, to be fair, raised awareness for the issue. And it did do that. But I think the world and everybody else is still struggling to figure out what to do with that awareness. Okay, we think that there's some, unfair kind of police tactics. We think that there's some racism. That's great. Well, it's not great, but I mean, it's nice that people are more aware of it. But we need to get to the, all right, so the solution is what stage? Because I think it's one thing to identify a problem, get people to know about it, but that identifying a problem and making noise, having a lot of people hear it, doesn't mean solving it. And I think a lot of people forget about that second part. So, I felt this way for a long time. That a lot of the protests you see, people get happy about it, especially younger generation likes to go out and be activists because that's exciting to do. They feel like they're making a difference. And to be fair, back with some like the civil rights movement and some of those changes, with some of those protests back in the 60s, absolutely those raised awareness to a point where a lot of people were ignoring it, and it did lead to change. But if you're protesting, say, earlier this week, there were some people protesting Dick's Sporting Goods. Why? Because some of their products were made out of animal. I guess the football or leather was involved somehow. So some animal rights activists protested Dick's, which is one of the bigger chains that has sporting goods made from animal products. Nothing's going to happen there. Absolutely nothing. I'm sorry. I think, the solution to it is find a cheaper, high-quality, durable material that people actually think is cool that could replace leather, and then you might have something. But until you get to that point, I don't think we're getting anywhere. Just my opinion. When it comes to comics, here's the thing, and that's why I do some of my videos. I think a lot of people misunderstand somewhere I'm going for. I get that you get lots and lots of videos, and it sounds like I'm complaining about various things in the comic industry. Generally, I'm trying to suggest change. So try to suggest an option. And every now and then somebody gets after me saying, look at this dumbass here. Does he really think anybody's listening to him? Yeah, probably not. I'm making myself feel better by talking about this stuff. And hopefully some of the stuff's entertaining for you. But I'm under no illusion that video number 5042 is going to be the one that finally convinces Marvel to change their business practices. That's not going to happen. And I have a similar view about a lot of people who endlessly complain about Marvel or DC, or worse. And I do think this is worse because every additional step makes it somehow worse. The people who complain about the people who are complaining about Marvel and DC, equally stupid, no, actually more stupid. The thing is, there right now, and I've done these videos before, there is a wonderful runway for you to make comics, for you to get involved, for you to actually do something and be successful, and no, nothing is stopping you. Yes, plenty is stopping you from being the new writer of Spider-Man. Maybe your experience, maybe your politics, maybe something you said on social media. And yeah, it's totally unfair that, one writer can say completely outlandish, offensive things on social media and continues to be employed, and another one does not. That's definitely unfair. But No amount of continual complaining on social media is going to do it. Every now and then I run into somebody who goes, no, we can't be silent because we need to be heard. But why? About this topic? Everybody knows. The better thing you can do is use your voice and use your strength in that voice to point people to better products. Go out, make one, and point people to it. Complaining at this point about, say, Dan Slott's online behavior is an absolute waste of time. Marvel is very clear they're not going to fire him. Dan Slott is very clear he's not going to change his behavior. So what are we doing? I've given this advice before, and I don't exactly understand why people resist it so much or why they get so angry about it. Block Dan Slott. What are you doing? If you find some comic creator who's being a complete jackass, block them or mute them or get them out of your life in some way. Getting there throwing punches is you're doing nobody any good, mostly yourself. This isn't to say, and people sometimes represent, and somebody just did recently, it's like, so you're saying we should say nothing. You're saying we should do nothing. No, I'm saying you should absolutely do as much as you can to beat them, to put out a better comic, to do something better. And I think, quite frankly, given some of the standards, that's pretty easy to do. I don't think it's going to take a lot to actually beat some of these people. I think that a lot of indie comics are already far, far better quality than what you see out of the big two. I think Scholastic and Viz proves that as well. They're not indie companies anymore. They are the big two. But focus your energy there. Now, again, you don't have to listen to me. This is just my opinion. But when I say things like, hey, just don't waste your time on it. Don't get involved in that fight. I'm not saying it for their benefit. I'm saying it for yours. You do have a lot you can actually produce. You have a lot that you can do. So go there. Focus on that. Try, for example, to, if you don't want to make a comic, find a comic you like. Promote it. Help at it. But getting drugged down into nonsense fights is just wasting your time. Again, it's like some of these protests. They're not going to change. They're not going to shift gears. So get off of a sinking ship and go to one that is actually afloat. And if you're one of the people that feels like your mission is to fight the people who are fighting, that's an even bigger waste of time. Look, I think the people who are continuously dogging on Marvel and DC and for all the things they do, I think by and large they are wasting their time. You're going to say, wait a minute, Perch, a lot of your channels point out things they do wrong. That's true, and maybe I am wasting my time. I'm trying to provide some examples and answer some questions along the way. I'm not just doing video after video about how much things suck. If that's how you're hearing it, I'm sorry about that. But if you think the solution to stopping those people is to get in and bitch about them, good Lord, that's an even greater waste of time. I watch some of these people go online and are like, my mission is to point out that the people who are complaining about comic books are wrong people. Yikes. You've made terrible decisions in your life. I'm sorry. You have. That again, I always say, what are you hoping will happen? Are you hoping that by saying that for the 50th time, somebody's going to be like, oh my God, you're right. Why am I complaining about this comic book? Why am I complaining about Tom King? All this time I've been saying he's a depressing kind of hack of a writer, but now I realize he's actually a charming fellow, and I've had it wrong all this time, and darn it, I'm going to go out to the comic book store and I'm going to buy up everything of his and set up a little shrine and delete all my tweets and regret my entire life and everything that I've done. Like, what are you doing? That fight to me seems useless, unless you're getting some kind of sick, perverse thrill out of the fight itself. And I get it. Everybody needs escapist entertainment, and maybe the ultimate escapist entertainment is arguing about stupid shit on Twitter. I don't know. I'm just saying, I don't think a lot of these things bear much fruit, do much good. If you want to go out and make jokes, make jokes. I make jokes. Everybody does. You do what you can. But if you think your life's mission is to keep talking and keep putting this out there, funnel that into something else. And before you say, yeah, I do. Cool. Great. And but if you want to say, no, but it is my responsibility to make sure everybody knows these comics suck. Okay, man. Okay, that's your call. By the way, this isn't me saying I'm better than you. I'm me, you're you. We're two different people. You can do whatever you want. If it makes you happy, more power to you. If it makes you miserable, but that's still what you want to do, more power to you. I don't care. I'm never going to meet you, most likely. If I do, I will buy you a beer, and we'll drink the beer, and I won't ask you about what you hate. You may tell me anyway, and then we'll have that beer. What are you doing? Life doesn't have to be this hard. I guess my only point is just to consider this. There are a lot of efforts out there, no matter what you're angry against, no matter what you're protesting against. There's a lot of efforts out there that are good and can use your support. There's a lot of people who are not in the culture war, who are just trying to put out comics and do their thing, and some tiny little bit of kind of your backing will probably help them out a great deal. So, at least consider that. You can actually make things better by supporting the things that are better, and it's pretty easy to do. Anyway, take it or leave it. Thanks for listening.